and come back and let us know what's going on with that. Okay, good. Interesting story. We first heard about it a few years ago that the remains of a ship had been found under the World Trade Center site. Now we learn more, and we're about to learn even more from Irene Plagianos from DNAinfo. Tell us what researchers revealed this week.
Right, so they actually figured out the origins of this ship, and it was a huge 32-foot-long wooden ship that they found at the World Trade Center site. No one really knew where it came from.
This was 2010, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. So it took a couple years, but thanks to tree ring dating, they were actually able to link the wood from the ship to wood from a forest in Philadelphia from 1773. And so they figured out that's when the wood was chopped down, and then they used that wood to build the ship, and it sailed for about 20 years.
So they look at the rings and they can narrow it down and where the wood, and I read this wood may have also been used, or some of the same type of wood used to build Independence Hall.
Yes, exactly, and that was part of, that's part of like how they link it with the wood, and they use these tree rings that are sort of like barcodes. That's what the scientists at Columbia sort of explained.
So has the ship been preserved, or how's that working now?
So they are working to preserve it actually in Maryland, and scientists say that at some point they'd like to be able to put it back together again, but right now they're still preserving it and trying to keep it intact.
And it ended up there, what, basically just once it was scrapped, becoming landfill or something like that?
Yeah, so apparently there was some worm infestation in the boat, and that sort of led to its demise. And then at some point, probably around 1819, it was buried there, also in hopes of building out the land there westward, the coast in Manhattan. So it was actually useful at that point. But I
told you we'd learn more from Irene Plagianos, scholarly Irene. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you. Okay, good. Well, if we're going to be talking about history, we might as well